Hey there, this is Brendan Stoneman with RE/MAX Kelowna, and I'm sitting here with Property Manager Patrick Shillington with RE/MAX Management Solutions. So as a property investor, I know part of what they're always looking at is, if I buy this as an investment property, what's the rental market going to be like? So I'm just wanting to get your thoughts on, are there certain types of properties that we're seeing a bit of a shortage of, or certain demand for single-family homes as opposed to condos, or what's your kind of read on the market for demand?
As far as the demand, again, depending on the time of year is going to play a part, but as far as finding something where there's a shortage of is reasonable priced single family dwellings. There just seems to be so many families that are out there trying to find a nice home to move into to stay long term. Families aren't going to invest a lot of money and effort into moving if they can only stay there shorter term. So you're typically going to attract longer term tenants. Typically these families can't necessarily afford to purchase and buy their own home in the markets. So there's a shortage as far as the single family dwellings go. Townhouses are a great alternative because it can accommodate single individuals, it can accommodate couples, young families, retirees.
Right.
But the condo apartment style units, there certainly is a lot more development happening, potentially flooding the market with all of these units becoming available, which will certainly even out the price points as far as what you can get for those types of units.
For sure, yeah, I know there's several hundred units that are currently under construction for, for condos. So I know in talking to some of my investor clients, recommending that we maybe stay away from anything that might compete with that because, there's just going to be a whole influx of supply coming soon.
Yeah, exactly. And then as far as different types of properties, you can have a full single individual home, you can have a house with upstairs and downstairs suites. Like I said, you can have townhouses, duplexes, something that's going to give a little bit more space and attract fewer different options as far as types of tenants go is a nice property to have versus pigeonholing yourself into just studio units where you can only have one individual.
Right.
And as far as the length and time for that tenancy, maybe shorter term.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm always mindful of with my investor clients is, it's one thing when the market's crazy and everything rents. Yeah. It's when it slows down or there's some more rental properties come on the market and the vacancy rate isn't 0.05%, it's 1 or 2%. Yeah. You still want to have a desirable property even in a down market.
Exactly, and that's the thing with having a house. You've got a family that's living there. They're not about to uproot themselves. They've got kids in school. They want to stay long term, make it feel like home, and be a comfortable environment.
Okay, now what about furnished rentals? Is there much of a demand for furnished rentals?
Furnished and unfurnished. You don't necessarily get any more as far as rent is concerned. It's more the type of applicants that you're going to attract and length of time of the tenancy. Yeah. Furnished typically are going to be people that are in transit. So realistically, you're not going to have someone stay beyond a year. They're either relocating to Kelowna, they're here on a contract position. It might be somebody that sold their home and they're in between, not sure, waiting to find a place to buy. Maybe they're going to be building a home, versus somebody that's going to be renting an unfurnished property. For them to move all their belongings in, get settled, typically they want to stay long term. They'll want to look after, maintain it as if it's their own versus having a place that is furnished. You kind of feel like you're living in somebody else's place. So it all depends on the type of individuals you're looking for and the length of tenancies typically that you're going to attract. Right.
And then what about the higher end properties?
Higher end executive homes, it's not a huge market for that. Yeah. You might have people that are used to that sort of lifestyle that are relocating to Kelowna. They want to ensure that they're in their comfortable environments that they're used to, but again, they're typically wanting to stay homeowners, so they'll be building a property or looking at buying another home in the area. So,
so maybe a little shorter term.
Yeah, not a huge demand as far as executive homes go, but there are people out there that look for them. Again, there's always a right fit for the properties. Just the amount of demand for higher end homes is going to be less than those for entry level single family homes.